Me too.
Hey, Cisco Global, Freedom Friday. That's right, Freedom Friday. I don't care. I'm not even going to brush my hair today. What do you think of that? Swissco Global, independent business owner, network marketing training number 106 on Freedom Friday, February. What is this? This is March 6th. Yay, March 6th. Good morning, John. How are you today? Sorry, guys, we're late. We got caught up with, boy, uploading leads.
That's good morning, Paul. And that's funny because I had looked up at the clock and I saw it was about 8:02, and I hadn't got my invite from you yet. And I was actually doing the same thing, was putting some finishing touches into Will's spreadsheet, which has to do with our real estate business, but it has to do with our lead generation system. So that's what I was working on this morning. And you know what? March 6th is a very special day because today is
Happy
my birthday.
birthday!
I am turned 37, so I'm 37 years young, and I'm very excited about that. I actually done a lot already this morning. I've been up since 5. I got my kids dressed, ready to school, like smoother than any morning ever. Like in record time, we were ready out the door and 15 minutes early, which never happens. So the universe is rewarding me today for constantly putting myself in a good mood and learning to take control of my mind and make better use of it. I'm beginning to attract just amazing things. I've already been to the supermarket and bought all my food for my barbecue that I'm going to have tonight, except I forgot my birthday cake. Yes, I'm buying my own birthday cake, but that's so the kids can decorate it. And so far, it's been an awesome day. So with that being said, welcome to Freedom Friday. I like Paul has the freedom to have that awesome mop on top of his head this morning.
That's right. I ain't scared. I ain't scared. You guys can look at it. You guys can laugh at it. You can do whatever you want. You know what? Doesn't bother me none because I'm
And
free.
yeah, so today is all about Swiss Gold Global and the freedom. Well, not just about Swiss Gold Global, but really about the freedom that network marketing allows us to have. And we'll probably get into a little bit of personal development. And I'm going to toss it back over to you, Paul, to get things kind of kicked off here because I got to actually find my charger and plug the computer in before it dies and I drop the Hangout.
Okay, well, I obviously don't have a plan today, being Freedom Friday, and the fact that I was caught up doing something else this morning doesn't bode well for me having any idea of where to take this today, except for the fact that if you were on the Hangout yesterday, you saw that, which is the Open Business Mastermind, which we really didn't have anybody join us yesterday, which if you guys get an invitation, join us. We're looking for people to come in and let's discuss some business aspects about your business, about our business, about any business, theory, concepts, thoughts, ideas, what's working, what's not working, what you're thinking of trying, why, does it sound like a good idea, anything that you might think is better, whatever it is you want to talk about your business or about any business or about business in general is what that Thursday open mastermind is all about. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is daylight saving. Yes, this is. Sunday is daylight savings time. So we're going back to Pacific time now here in Arizona. So 4:30 Pacific time on Thursdays, we do the open business mastermind. And if you get an invite, please, I want you to join us. We want people in there to discuss whatever you want to talk about. Business related, of course. So I just want to throw that out there that, we do that every Thursday, and it's a great way to get some ideas from other people. I don't care how smart you think you are, you can't think of it all. That's just the way it is. And the great thing about a mastermind is you might have a thought, you might be thinking of something that you want to do, or whatever the case is, you might have a thought, and somebody else will take your thought, it'll process in their mind in a different way than you've ever thought of looking at it. They might come up with an idea that you would have never thought of, because you're able to share, with somebody else's point of view. And the same thing, and who knows, if there's more than more than one person in the group, then the idea that they come up with could be elaborated on by a third party. And all of a sudden, your simple idea turns into something, wow, completely amazing. And then you might have some more input. Wow, now that you know it, I never thought of that. And yeah, that would be awesome. Wow, and then I could do this. I mean, it multiplies so dramatically and so quickly when you've got other people, all working and thinking, in harmony about the same processes and ideas. It's masterminds are an amazing thing that people don't utilize enough of. And if you're out there and you have a business and you're doing it all yourself, here's a free place. I mean, a lot of places, masterminds are so powerful that there's mastermind groups that charge a lot of money to participate in. I've looked into a few, and I mean, we're talking, a weekly meeting at $350 a week just to participate in a mastermind group for an hour and come build upon your ideas in your business. There's got to be some power behind that if people are paying $350 a week to sit down with other people and brainstorm. You know what I mean? Got to be some power behind that. We're offering it for free right here. So I want you guys to share, take advantage of that.
You know what the problem might be, Paul, why we're not getting participants is because we are giving it away for free. People take what's given to them for free for granted. Think about your mind, the imagination, the creativity, and all the gifts that you're born with, and how many people out there abuse their bodies, abuse their mind. And it's the one thing that we don't have to pay for when we come into this life. It's the one thing that's given to us for free, yet it's something that we take most for granted. Another thing Paul had mentioned there about masterminds is how powerful it is to just share ideas with a like-minded group of people, because there's almost like an energy or a power created, and new ideas are born out of the simple fact that there's more than one person participating and sharing ideas. And as Paul said, a lot of people will pay thousands of dollars. Even a mastermind group that Paul and I looked into joining, which was about a real estate mastermind group, which costs $15,000 a year for the membership per member. And people will pay it because of the benefits of being in a room sharing ideas with people that are such highly developed, high-level thinkers. It's incredible. And I just want to point out that Thursdays is a day that we certainly invite anybody to message us and jump on board the Hangout and share some ideas with us live. And also maybe they have an idea to speak about something that we haven't brought up. Maybe you need help with some aspect of your business. And you know what? Share those ideas with Paul and myself, and maybe we can help you spark an idea or get you thinking in a way you haven't thought before. Which leads me to one more thing that I'd like to talk about today, and that's about habits and how what you do, your routines, your daily habits are everything. Everything to your success is based on what you do on a daily basis, what your habits, what your routine are. And it's very interesting. There's actually been scientific evidence showing that that when you're in the habit of doing something every single day for a long period of time, or you're in the habit of thinking of a certain way for a long period of time, it literally creates a physical groove or rut in your brain. Literally, your daily habits or the way you think is literally creating a rut or a groove in your brain. And it's funny because that you've all heard the expression, oh, I'm not feeling so good, I'm in a rut lately. You're literally in a rut. That's the amazing thing. But what's also amazing about these studies is it shows that you can literally create new neural pathways, literally pave over the ruts by creating new ways of thinking and new habits. So I point that out this morning because I feel that the habits, what you're doing daily is key to your success. And I made a list here of a couple of habits that I think are really important. And it all starts with, how do you live each day of your life? When you go to a meeting or you get up out of bed in the morning and you show up places, how are you doing things? What kind of mentality are you in? A positive state of mind? Most people aren't, and most people fool themselves that they are. And you have to get in this habit of showing up like a warrior. And being a warrior means that you're in the habit of being in your higher self. You're not letting your ego mind, your subconscious, those negative thoughts bombard you. You're in the habit of blocking out negative thoughts, only allowing positive things into your mind, and you're showing up every day like a warrior, like an enlightened warrior. As T. Harv Eker talks about in his book, The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, the enlightened warrior is one that has the ability to conquer themselves. And by conquering themselves, it's doing what you have to do every day, no matter how you feel, because you have to do it. And I'm talking about doing the things you have to do, that the important things, like getting out of your comfort zone, showing up to places on time, keeping your word, exercising daily, eating healthy daily, doing affirmations and auto-suggestion daily, meditating daily. These are all habits that you're not going to be able to keep these habits unless you're showing up like a warrior.
Yeah, sometimes warriors don't have time to comb their hair because they're so busy doing all those things in their morning routine that have to get done, because that's what builds their power inside of them. So yes, being in your higher self, I guess, yeah, is a good place to put it. But yeah, being in that mode of the warrior, that mindset of I'm going to do whatever it takes. It's easy to get started. We talked about this yesterday. It's easy to get started into something like that. You can get all excited about it. Maybe you went to a seminar. Maybe you read a book. Maybe you saw our hangout. Maybe whatever it was that got you inspired to motivate yourself. You said, yeah, this is it. I'm going to do it. It makes sense. This is what's missing in my life. And you get out there and you get going, you get started. And most people, fade. Their excitement sort of fades away, and it becomes too difficult. And one morning, you say, every morning I'm going to wake up and I'm going to drink a big glass of water, and then I'm going to, exercise for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to make myself a shake. And, all of a sudden you're in about a week or 10 days, and, you maybe didn't go to bed early enough the night before. So you're laying there going, I got to get up and do my stuff, but I could sure sleep here for another half an hour and then just skip it and go to work, and people just, it's hard to remain in that place. Good news, though, is when you fail, which you probably will, because most people do, you'll fall off the wagon, so to speak. You'll be out there, you'll be pounding it, you'll be doing it. Maybe it'll last you, a couple of days, maybe it'll last you a couple of weeks, maybe it'll last you a month or a couple of months. If you start out and you go straight into warrior mode and you never turn back, man, kudos for you. That's amazing. You're a superpower beyond what I have control over for myself. But it's a building process. It's a step-by-step building process. And if you do fail, when you do fail, you're going to fall off the wagon, and you're going to start realizing after, it's not going to seem like much at first. And maybe it might even take weeks or months for you to realize that, wow, while I was doing that, while I was making that change, a lot of really good things started happening. You might not realize what kind of good things are happening to you while you're doing it. And then once you fall off the wagon and you get down the road a little ways and you start realizing, what happened? My life turned to crap again. And you might think, well, you know what? Wait a second. When I started doing all those things, some good things really started happening, and then I stopped doing them because of this, that, or the other reason, whatever. And yeah, this life sort of got ugly again. And you go, well, you know what? Maybe I should try doing those things again. So you get back into it, and you think, oh, it's going to be so hard. Now I remember why I stopped. It's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard. But where you got going and it was so hard to get over the hump, so to speak. You know, it took you like a week or 2 weeks to sort of maybe get into it a little bit. You know, but then whatever, you failed or something, whatever the case is. But now all of a sudden you're picking it back up again, and maybe it's only 3 or 4 or 5 days when you're sort of getting excited, going, "Wow, I'm feeling really good about this. This is way better than that other thing that I was doing." So even if you fall apart, don't worry about it. Think about how your life was at that point in time, at some point down the road, and you might realize that that was a good thing that I was doing, and I need to go back to doing that good thing again. And when you decide to pick it back up, and you're thinking, you know, when you first think about picking it back up and thinking about how hard it was and why you failed, you'll realize that it's a lot easier the second time around, and maybe even the third time around, and maybe even the fourth time around. Maybe, you know, you're going to go off and on a few times, who knows? But eventually you'll get to a point where, yeah, why do I keep failing at this? This is what makes me feel good. This is what makes me happy. This is what makes things work good in my life. I'm just going to keep doing it now. And eventually you'll get to that point. So everything's a work in progress. It's step by step, and you can't expect, and that goes for your business and everything else too. You can't expect to have instantaneous overnight success at anything. You know, I mean, you might look at these amazing superstars on television or something that come out of nowhere, and they're this, you know, this overnight sensation with these wonderful songs that they're writing, or this, that, or the other thing, this music that they're making. Well, you know what? They're not an overnight success. They didn't live 20 years of their life doing, you know, stupid things, and then all of a sudden wake up one day and start writing amazing songs and becoming a musician. They've been working at it. You know, everything takes work. If you want something successful, you got to be willing to commit and put the time in. That's what it comes down to, and that's where most people just don't have it. You know, I want, but I want it now. I'm not willing to work for it. You know, it just needs to come to me, and that's not going to happen.
You're absolutely right. And it all comes down to your habits and how you're doing things. Are you playing the game of life at 100% every day? Are you showing up and doing things as a warrior? Are you staying in your higher self? Are you consciously aware of harmful emotional responses to things that pop up in your life? And you know what the greatest thing of all is that we have the ability to control our thoughts and our emotions and ultimately our feelings. The process of manifestation, what is it, Paul? That thoughts lead to feelings, lead to actions, equal results. And if we can learn, it's not even that we have to learn that we have the ability to control our thoughts, but we have to believe that we can control our thoughts. And then we need to be aware of what our thoughts are and how we're responding to things. Or do we have harmful emotional responses? What are my habits every day? These are bad habits. You know, one of the worst habits to be in, and this was a hard one for me to break because, you know, this was like 35 years of programming. This is something I became consciously aware of trying to change in August of 2013, and it's only over the last couple months that it's actually easy, is when the alarm goes off in the morning, you don't hit snooze, you jump right out of bed. The minute you gain consciousness in the morning, and it's time to get up, probably 98% of the world begin to let themselves get filled with that sense of dread, that begin to worry about and think about and get overwhelmed by all the things they have to do for the day. And I say get in the habit of jumping out of bed in the morning, because the first 5 minutes of your day determine your attitude for the rest of the day. So you need to immediately put yourself in a good mood. Whether you feel like it or not, put a smile on your face, jump out of bed, slam a glass of water, and just tell yourself, I feel good. I can conquer the day. I'm a warrior. You know, just do some simple affirmations. Get in the habit of doing that. Watch how it transforms your life. And I'm going to go ahead and toss it back to Paul because we're out of time, to close us out with our prayer and really think about the words of this prayer and what it means. And if you take it to heart and make it part of your DNA, what it can do for your life.
Yeah, and think about what John just brought up real quickly, and maybe we'll touch on this. Maybe we'll do this next Friday. Is that process of manifestation? Your thoughts. lead to your feelings. Just like John was just saying, you'd want to jump up out of bed and get that drink of water. But when you're laying there, what are you doing when you're laying there? You're thinking, and your thoughts are taking over your process. So your thoughts are sitting there making you feel like, oh, I would love to just stay here and sleep because I'm tired. So your thoughts lead to your feelings, and then your feelings are what drive your actions. So your feelings are, oh, I'm feeling so tired because I stayed up too late last night or whatever. So you're feeling tired, and now your actions are, you're not jumping up out of bed and doing the things that you're supposed to do, which do what? Lead to your results in the physical world, which now your whole day is thrown off because you laid in bed too long. You feel like crap when you get up. You're lazy. You feel like you never wake up all day long. You're going through the day in a haze, and it's all because your thoughts laying there in bed led to your feelings, which made you feel like doing nothing, which led to your actions, which had you do nothing, sleep too long, and then which ended up with your results for the day. So with that, O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom, with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control